When she finished her studies and found a job in the city, I was so proud I could hardly breathe. She had done it. We had done it. All those years of sacrifice had built this moment. I imagined visiting her, cooking for her, maybe even living nearby so she wouldn't feel alone. But the truth was, she didn't need me the way I thought she would. She called less, visited rarely. When she did, it was brief, hurried, like her mind was always elsewhere. She spoke about her new life, her friends, her office, her travels. I listened quietly, smiling, even when her words carved deeper the silence of my own days. At home, my body weakened. My hands trembled when I tried to sew. The factory finally let me go, saying, "You've given us many years, but it's time." They meant it kindly, but to me, it felt like exile. Work had been my life, my purpose. Without it, I felt invisible. Still, I tried to stay useful. I sold small things at the market, baked goods, knitted scarves. The neighbors smiled politely, but I could see pity in their eyes. At night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering how long my strength would last. One afternoon, my daughter called. My heart leapt. It had been weeks, but her tone was sharp, rushed. "Mama, I can't talk long. I'm busy. Are you doing okay?" I wanted to say no. I wanted to say my legs hurt, my chest felt heavy, that sometimes I sat in the kitchen staring at the empty chair across from me. But instead I said, "I'm fine, my darling. Just fine." Because I didn't want her to worry. Because I thought she would see me as a burden if I told the truth. But even silence has a cost. The distance between us grew. She was building her world, and I, who had built it with blood and bone, wasn't part of it. That winter, the cold cut deeper than before. I lit candles when the electricity bill came too high. I wrapped myself in old blankets, whispering prayers that the roof would hold through the storms. Each time I coughed, a fear crept in. What if I don't wake up tomorrow? Who will even notice? And yet, whenever I heard her voice on the phone, I forced a laugh, forced strength into my words. I wanted her to believe I was unshakable, the same mother who had carried her through childhood. I thought I could hide my weakness forever, but weakness has a way of showing itself, even when you try to bury it. And the first time I let her see it, everything began to change. It was a spring morning when I finally let the mask slip. My knees had been swelling for months, but that day they simply refused to carry me. I sat on the edge of my bed, breath shallow, pain pulsing with every heartbeat. For the first time, I picked up the phone and dialed my daughter. When she answered, her voice was bright, distracted, papers shuffling in the background, laughter from someone else in the room. "Mama, I'm in the middle of something. Can it wait?" I almost hung up. The words caught in my throat, but the pain pushed me forward. "Darling, my legs, they hurt so badly today. I can't seem to stand. I thought maybe—" Silence, then a sigh. "Mama, you have to see a doctor. I can't help you with that right now. I've got meetings all day." "I'm not asking for much," I whispered, ashamed of myself even as the words left my mouth. "Just, maybe if you could visit this weekend." Her tone hardened. "I'll see what I can do. But Mama, you can't keep calling me for every little thing. I have my own life now. Her words pierced deeper than the pain in my knees. I bit my lip until it bled, forcing my voice steady. Of course, my darling. I'm sorry. I won't bother you again. After we hung up, I sat in silence, staring at the walls I had built with decades of labor. They had sheltered her, protected her, given her the childhood I never had. And now those walls echoed back only loneliness. That night I tried to eat, but the food turned to dust in my mouth. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, my body aching and my heart heavier than stone. For the first time, I wondered if perhaps she truly saw me as nothing more than a weight holding her down. And here, dear listener, I need to pause, because I want to ask you, tell me in the comments, what would you do if your mother or father called you like I did that day? Would you answer with patience, with love, or would you too feel they were in the way? I need to know, because in that moment, I felt more alone than ever before. But what came after, that was the beginning of the words I will never forget, words that no mother should ever hear. The weekend came, but she didn't. She sent a short message instead. I couldn't make it, Mama. Next time. Next time never came. When she finally did visit, weeks later, it was not with the warmth I had imagined. She walked into the house, her eyes scanning the cluttered shelves, the peeling wallpaper, the half-empty cupboards. She didn't see the memories stitched into every corner. She saw only a burden. She sighed, dropping her bag on the chair. Mama, you really should think about selling this place. It's too much for you. You can't keep living like this. I forced a smile. This is our home. Every wall, every floorboard. It's where I raised you. She looked at me then, and her eyes were cold in a way I had never seen before. You're making this harder than it needs to be. I have my own responsibilities. You can't expect me to carry yours too. I froze. The words cut through me like glass. I don't expect anything, I whispered. I only wanted to see you. Her reply came sharp, merciless. Mama, you're in the way. Don't you see that? You hold me back. I felt the air leave my lungs. For years I had carried her, through hunger, through grief, through nights of endless labor. And now, standing in the home I had built for her, she told me I was nothing but an obstacle. I turned away, hiding the tears that burned my eyes. I didn't want her to see me broken, though I was. That night, after she left, I sat in her old room, the one still painted the color she had chosen as a child. The posters on the wall had faded. The bed was small now, but to me it was sacred. I ran my fingers along the wooden frame, remembering her laughter, her whispers before sleep, her tiny hand reaching for mine in the dark. And I asked myself a question no mother should ever have to ask. Had I given too much? Had my love been so invisible that she no longer saw it at all? But the answer didn't matter, because love, once given, cannot be taken back, even when it breaks you. Still, her words echoed in my head long after she was gone. You're in the way. I thought that was the deepest wound she could inflict. I didn't know it was only the beginning. After that day, nothing was the same. Her visits grew even rarer, and when she came, she moved through the house like a stranger walking through a museum she had no interest in. She didn't sit long, didn't ask questions. Her eyes flicked from her phone to the clock, always somewhere else in her mind. I tried to hold on to the little moments, a smile when she entered, a laugh, rare but still there, when she recalled something from her childhood. But it always ended the same way, a sigh, a complaint, a reminder that I was making things harder. Once, when I asked if she could stay the night, she shook her head firmly. "Mama, I can't. My life isn't here. You have to stop expecting me to drop everything for you." I nodded, swallowing back the words I wanted to say. Words like, "I dropped everything for you, every day, every year, every breath I had left." But I stayed silent. Because love isn't a bargain. It's not a contract. And I had promised myself long ago I would give her everything without asking for anything in return. Yet the loneliness grew heavier. Some days I didn't speak to a single soul. I would sit at the kitchen table, staring at the empty chair across from me, imagining her there as a little girl again, swinging her legs, asking me to braid her hair. I began to realize something no parent wants to admit. I was no longer part of her world. I had built it, brick by brick, with my sweat and sacrifice, but she had closed the door behind her. And then came the moment that sealed it all. She visited one Sunday, her tone sharp, her patience thin. She stood in the middle of the living room, arms crossed, and said, "Mama, I can't keep doing this. You can't expect me to take care of you. I have my own life, my own family to think about. You need to understand. You don't fit into my world anymore." The words were knives, cold, final. I didn't argue, I didn't beg. I only lowered my eyes and nodded. But inside, something shattered. I realized then that love does not guarantee love in return. That sacrifice does not guarantee gratitude. That sometimes the very people you would die for will tell you, with no hesitation at all, that you are simply in the way. And that was not the end, because soon she would offer me something that seemed like kindness, but it became the cruelest chapter of all. And that, my dear listener, is where the next part of my story begins.